What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 21 here bringing another video. Today I wanted to do a review for the just recently released episode of the Powerpuff Girls 2016 TV show, and it is episode 16 now. So, yeah. Good number of episodes now. We're talking about 16 out of 40 episodes. That's 2/4 of the overall number of episodes. So I want to go through the episode, give you guys my review and thoughts on it, and also summarize it, of course, as usual. So what happens is in this episode, it's an interesting one. It's called Frenemy, and the thing is that the episode starts off with, the girls talking to each of the Powerpuff Girls, and Buttercup is trying to talk to her sisters about like what animal or what thing is she like, and she believes she's either like a velociraptor or a tiger, but her sisters believe her to be a mouse lemur, which is interesting. And Buttercup isn't really happy about that because she considers herself tough, obviously, as you know, and a mouse lemur does not sound very tough compared to a velociraptor or a tiger, which are vicious, dangerous animals, although one of them is obviously extinct. But you get the point. She's trying to prove that she's aggressive and tough, which is cool. But then what happens is that she's talking about this, and suddenly Mrs. Keene the teacher obviously begins to talk, and she says, "Oh, we have a new student in our class today," and that is when someone comes in on a whip, sporting an outfit very similar, a girl who sports a similar outfit to like Indiana Jones in a way, and you may think to yourself, "You're just saying that." No, you'll see. Well, let's just say this much: if you haven't seen it, you'll find out very fast. The point is that she comes in, her name is Jemica. She ends up explaining that she's like a junior amateur. No, she's like an amateur professional archaeologist, and she's lived in 6 continents, and she's never had an ice cream headache, which it's a kid's show in its own way, so they're gonna do something that has to seem a little less professional, but whatever. It makes sense. Anyway, that all happens, and they're all talking and stuff, and everyone in the school loves Jemica and finds her cool, and eventually she sees the Powerpuff Girls as these figures that are, cool. They're like superheroes, and they're really significant and all that. And they end up, and like the thing is that like she even is nice to them and said some really nice things, and she even refers to Buttercup like she's a velociraptor or tiger. And she's like, you seem like a velociraptor or tiger. And the thing is that Buttercup's like, yeah, someone agrees with me. The thing is that then she ends up asking them to go on an adventure with them, and they end up doing something which basically gets that perspective of what I was saying before about Indiana Jones. Yeah, this episode has a lot of references to that in that way. The only thing that they don't choose to do, which I'm a little surprised about because they even have it, is the fact that they don't have the boulder scene. Yet they do have a boulder. Like what happens is that they're trying to like get an artifact or something like that that's supposedly like rare and mysterious or whatever. And the thing is that they end up talking about it and everything, and they're going to search for it. And you even have like, I think it's Bubbles, who has like the hat of I forget his name, but he's in the first Indiana Jones movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark, but the guy with the hat, with the red hat or whatever. Yeah, you have Bubbles wearing that kind of hat, and you have the girls wearing similar kind of hats to Jemica. And the thing is that they're all going in to try to get this artifact kind of thing or whatever, and it's just kind of interesting because you see all that, and she's trying to convince them to go with her, and she's looked at as this cool girl, and people respect her and look at her like she's really awesome and she's amazing and all that, and they all treat her in such a way. I mean, she even comes up with her own words, like she has her own. She came up with her own word, which is snoof, which I get, I guess, and that's something. And the girls really respect her and everything, so they help her out, unblocking the boulder, but by lifting it. See, I get that they're trying to not reference it too much, but it's like you basically set yourself up for people to expect you to do that, and yet you decided not to do it at all, which is very unusual. because that would have been so, like, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you know what I mean. It seems like if you're gonna even show it, then do something with it. Don't just have it there. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. It just kind of bothered me a little bit. I just wanted to make sure. And the thing is that also what encourages Blossom to get rid of the boulder is she says, "Oh, I think this is where the first 3-ring binder is." And she's like, "Oh, awesome." It's just like it's a 3-ring binder, but you know, she's all about like school and stuff like that to like a ridiculous extent. So then what happens is that you end up finding out that Jemica is really looking for this artifact that's called the Golden Otter of Hosra Jonies. And she's looking for it, and the thing is that the girls help her, and then what happens is when they're trying to leave or whatever, they end up hearing some people talking and saying, "Oh, some thieves stole the golden otter." And the thing is that the girls are like, "But we don't steal. That's not good. That's not our thing, you know." And the thing is that like they're really about all that, like being good, being proper, being nice, you know, that's how they are. The thing is that Jemica's like, "Well, I mean, I thought you guys would understand, you know, it's my kind of a thing." And they kind of are like, "All right, well, we'll believe you now, you know, Jemica, you're cool, you're nice." And the thing is that they're like, you know, like she's like, "You know, I was thinking of giving you girls like, you know, I just recently got these best friend necklaces, and I was thinking of giving them to my best friends, and I think I found them. I think it's you." And she ends up giving them the necklaces, and the girls wear them. And the necklaces are weird because, like, the back part is missing, but the front part is definitely present, so it looks kind of strange, but whatever. The point is they wear them, and then Jemica suddenly begins to say, like, "Oh, do this, do that." And the thing is that the necklaces force them to do it. Whether it be moving in a certain way, talking in a certain way, doing pretty much anything. They are at her disposal. So, you know, they even make Buttercup speak in a British accent, and like Bubbles pick Buttercup's nose, which is, you know, gross, but you get the point. You know, basically anything can happen. And the thing is that Blossom, rather than giving back the golden otter, ends up giving it to Jemica because they're under her control. So the thing is that all that's happening, and then they want to go, and they're then forced to go to the professor, who's going to help them find the bejeweled mouse lemur. And the thing is that that's another kind of artifact in another location or whatever. And so they have to capture the professor and tie him up and everything like that. And they find it, and they end up going like on a plane or something like that. And the thing is that eventually when they're traveling on this plane, you know, the professor doesn't want to do anything about like helping. But the thing is, they're like, "But wait, girls, I actually want to learn. You know, this is like a great learning opportunity. I have to hear about this." So the thing is that, you know, all that's happening, and eventually the professor even gets thrown out of the plane. Now, for those that don't realize, the girls really do love their father, the professor. You know, he's the one that made them who they are. And the thing is that because of that, when they see him falling out, and Jemica saying like, "Don't do anything," or, you know, "Do something else," or whatever, basically the girls begin to resist her commands because it's on a personal level and it's family. It's not just like, "Oh, you're just telling me to do this." No, now you're talking about letting my father, like, you're talking about letting their fathers die, which is not a thing, obviously. And also in this show, why would they do that? So, of course, what happens is they overcome the necklaces and destroy it together with their hands, hand to hand, and suddenly the necklaces burst and they're able to resist it due to that family connection that they have and they believed in. And all that happens, and they save the professor, and then they return back to their home. At home, they end up talking for a little while about how they rescued the professor, and they end up asking, I wonder what happened to Jemica. Because as you may have realized, I never mentioned where she went, right? And they don't mention yet. So what happens is that then they show that she ended up in Sweden, and you end up hearing a teacher from Sweden saying the exact same things about, "Oh, we have a new student, and her name is Jemica," and it's in like Swedish or whatever. So all that happens, and we see Jemica, and that's that. So we know that she's in Sweden. We don't know much else. As far as whether or not she's going to return, maybe. A lot of characters have been getting these one-off episodes, but like, you know, we know that they're still around. They're not gone. So would I be surprised if they decide to bring her back at some point? No, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of characters seem to be that way in the past, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes, if not more, have been doing that. So, yeah, it's cool. I mean, obviously, they're just introducing a lot of stuff right now. So that's fine. But yeah, so that's all happening, and the episode ended pretty much there. As far as things go, I did enjoy this episode. It was a good episode. You know, it wasn't anything like awe-inspiring, amazing, but it wasn't bad. It had some cool stuff in it. I think that it did a lot of interesting things. But I don't know. I mean, it was fine, you know? I want to see what we get in the future. I did enjoy this episode, but I don't know what to expect next. We'll have to wait. I hope you guys enjoy this yourselves. If you have seen it, then that's great. If you haven't, I hope you look into it, because it's an interesting episode to see. And also, if you haven't watched the show at all yet, definitely something to consider. You know, it's a good show. It's fun to watch. And, you know, some people don't like it as much as the original, and I personally prefer the original, but at the same time, I still think that this is actually pretty good. So if you're interested in watching it, do so, of course, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy71, and goodbye.